Record there, and we are live. We live right now. Doing the podcast right now. Today is just had that thing in my pocket. um, it is Saturday, August 24th, 2024. We're doing pretty good. We are recording. We're doing audio, video, both of them. The video, I don't know when it's gonna come out, but it doesn't matter. Just continue to submit and push out content as much as I can. So, what's the topic today before we get too far in the weeds and people like tune off? We're going to talk about cafes. We're going to talk about coffee crawl cafes, thingies, and what I learned on my trip and things to take forward as I do this more often and whatnot. But right now, all is well. No complaints from me. Things are moving. I got another post coming out tomorrow, Sunday. When this goes live, it's going to be more than likely on Monday. I do have 2 or 3 done right now. 2 or 3 kind of done. I still need to do thumbnail. Title stuff is kind of mostly figured out. I do need to edit some more. So I think I'm going to just try to see if I can put something out for Thursday. That's what I work on. I'll work on what I'm going to do for Thursday tomorrow. And that's going to be done. So once that's done, then I can go ahead and get the other stuff ready to rock and roll. But other than that, I'm doing well. No complaints. Life is good. Had a really good trip to Vancouver. It was a lot better than the first time, because the first time was just, what was the first time? It was kind of like a more so impromptu type of trip. We were in Seattle for a little bit and then we went to Vancouver. So it was just, again, I didn't really get the whole thing about it, but now that I've experienced it for myself, it's pretty cool. It's a cool place, nice weather. People are mostly cool. There's so many things to do. Family can do things. Individuals can do things. Couples can do things and whatnot. So that's the beauty of the trip, And like I said, it was mostly just like a chill type of thing, just trying to see things for what they are. But yeah. So there's one of the guys. He's a really cool guy. He used to work at Amazon. Rocky. We talked quite a bit. Talked about coffee, life, current events, health, AI, and all that good stuff. And it was really cool talking to him and getting to know him a little bit more. And the reason why we got to know each other a little bit more is because we went to a couple coffee shops. It was really cool to just explore different things, different scenes in the city. And like I said, it was more so like an impromptu type of coffee trip, because I don't mind drinking coffee all the whole day. It doesn't really affect me that much. It does now because I don't drink it as much. But it was interesting, and that's a cool way to really get to know somebody. And like I said, it was more so like an impromptu type of trip. I enjoyed myself. It was cool, but I don't do that in my city. I don't do that at all, really. And I don't think it's ironic. I don't think it's either you go to coffee shops or you don't. And I did for a little bit years ago. Used to meet different people there and all that. Meet up people, talk to them, and then go on from there. But it was interesting kind of just getting to know somebody, also letting them know what I like about coffee, what I don't like about coffee, the things that I look forward to. And I actually did a YouTube video. I don't know when it's going to come out, probably weeks from now. And about tips that I can give in order for people to have a good trip or a good experience. And I think the biggest thing is just having low expectations. That's going to be really the biggest things that people can take within them on the trip, because at the end of the day, you don't know what's really going on. You don't know if somebody had a bad day. You don't know if the beans are shit and it doesn't really work out, whatnot. But there's so many things to really think about, worry about, and all that stuff. So it's best when you have lower expectations. If it does wow you, it does wow you. So I talked about 5 tips. I gave you just one just now. Listen to the video to get the rest if you want to. But yeah, so it was a good trip, good times, and I really did enjoy the experience. I really was living more so in the moment. I tried to as much as I could, pending my CT scan. So here's the thing. My father died about 6 years ago. Okay, I get a little personal here. And he died of colon cancer. So my dad was who he was. Good guy to me, mostly. Very interesting person. But the thing about it is that we got along really well. And one of the last remaining gifts that he gave me, which to my brothers also, which is kind of weird me saying this, but was to let us know that we will probably get colon cancer. So it allowed me years ago to go ahead and get my first colonoscopy. They found a couple polyps. They took those out. Did a CAT scan then. Everything was fine. So this is about the 3 year mark. So do it again. No symptoms. Everything looks good on my neck and all that stuff, and no lymphoma, nothing like that. I know what to look for now. But I did my colonoscopy again. After I did my colonoscopy, I no polyps this time, but I think they saw like a ingrown uh what was it? It was something very minor, but it wasn't a polyp, hemorrhoid, whatnot. So I just need to be better about eating what I need to eat right. But I still have to go ahead and get the CAT scan to rule everything out. So I did the CAT scan on that last Thursday. Flew out to Seattle/Vancouver on that Friday morning. So I was kind of thinking about the results and everything. And I think I got the results back on Thursday? No, Tuesday? Everything looks good. Healthy boy. Healthy 42-year-old boy. So I've always felt or has always been determined about the things that I want to do in my life and the things that are in front of me, and just kind of going through that and seeing it for what it was and trying to be as present as I could. It gave me a different perspective on things. I'm still going to be pushing extremely hard, even harder than what I did the past, couple of years, putting myself out there a little bit more, even more so. But the biggest thing is just like, what can I give to the world that's impactful, that's helpful? I'm still trying to figure that out. I think it is something dealing with coffee, but we will see how that really works out. I think it's going to be really well. And as much as I am kind of a little disappointed with not as many views on my videos, the cool thing about the situation is that I'm using YouTube, so to speak, as a test bed for the things that I am trying to do or things that I don't even know that I'm interested in. Because that's the cool thing about this. It's kind of like NASA or Formula One to an extent, is that when you put yourself out there and try different things and video works or doesn't, there's other things that happen along the way that you start to really figure out. It's like, oh, okay, this makes sense or this doesn't make sense or whatnot. So that's what I'm doing right now. So yeah, so there's a couple ideas that I will share eventually, but I do want to keep them under wraps, kind of like flesh them out a little bit, either in regards to marketing and getting the business out there. Amazon is going to be a critical part about what I do and all that. But the other thing that I am looking forward to is really creating products or a situation to where it really does help out people. And that's going to be one of the biggest things, biggest takeaways as we go about figuring things out. So, of course, I have so many videos to do. I think I may do the video that's gonna happen within today. We'll see if I do that or not. I'm still thinking about it. I'm just like, man, just other things, so many other things to do. I did finally finish out my prompting type of exercise for my YouTube videos. But other than that, I just don't want to be so overwhelmed with I gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this. So, yeah. So let's go back and talk about cafes. Why would somebody want to go to a cafe? I think the reason why most people will probably want to go to a cafe is one, to discover something that they're used to, something they probably go to cafes all the time. Or if they're in a new town or a different site, if it's inside of the city or something, they probably want to try something new, something out, right? It's just like when anybody will drink a cup of coffee, right? And they'll drink this cup of coffee and they'll drink it and then they'll be done with it or tired of it. So then they would want to try something new, something different. So it's kind of like the same thing. It's just like, let me just try this new cafe, new vibe, whatever. And either I'm going there by myself. I just want to change things up. So I think that's the beauty of cafes, really, more than anything, is that you can change it up. You can go to different places and stuff like that. It's okay to be a regular in cafes. It's also cool to be a regular in the coffee that you particularly enjoy or entertain or whatnot. But I think the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway about all of this is that it's about discovery. It's about exploration, if I said that correctly. It's about kind of being in a different place. You may like to write, you may like to do work or homework or whatnot. But the beauty of cafes really is just that you can more so try to be more so yourself amongst other people. So I think that's extremely important that we always trying to diversify the things that we're trying to do. Just like when I had that whole topic about the whole coffee slut thing, I had another one with another person. It was really good conversation about like how, for the most part, it's kind of interesting with coffee because coffee, you just want to try different things all the time. I mean, sort of. Some people do. Some people likes to do that all the time. But yeah. So that's more so the situation with cafes. Why we go to cafes? Sometimes we want to try something new. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we just want a different atmosphere. Sometimes we probably want to try different coffee beans. We want to see or figure out how somebody actually makes coffee in their way. And you can have so many different coffees or the same coffee by this roaster that's giving this cafe this coffee. And then it could get to the point to where you're like, oh, how can we do this in a way to where it makes sense for everybody? I don't know really what I'm saying with that statement right now. But again, like for instance, when I went to the cafe, I just got their drip. It could have been there for a long time or just brewed, whatnot. I think for the most part, most people just keep it in there as long as possible before it's actually brewed. But that's how I judge. That's how I judge a cafe. Sometimes I'll get the espresso too and just try to drink that just to see what I'm tasting, see what I'm getting myself into. I like to say that it's like the potato chips or the corn tortilla chips in a Mexican restaurant. When you actually have that thing, you taste it for freshness, for quality. Because for the most part, if they made it, and that's the catchy thing, but you can always buy really good chips. So whatever, that's just the way I go about it. If they made it, it gives you a understanding, probably an idea of what you will probably taste in the dishes coming closer or moving forward. You know, with the food or whatnot. It could be that. It could give you a prelude of like, okay, I know that the coffee or everything else is going to probably be just as a par because a lot of times when you drink it in its purest form, that's more so the same type of coffee that they're using for either their milk drinks, their espresso drinks, and whatnot. See, that's the thing about coffee bars that I don't really care for or like is that they only have so many selections. So that's something that you have to take into consideration too. And a lot of times with coffee shops, at least for me, what I've noticed is that they'll use like a Brazilian or Mexican coffee, which is perfectly fine. But if you go to this bar, that bar, this bar, this bar, you're more so tasting the same thing, unless you do like a pour over or whatever else. If some coffee shops do have cafes or they have different varieties of the beans and all that, that can be extremely helpful. That can let you know that you are in a place that has variety, that gives you a chance to actually explore the coffee. However, they go to a place years ago, just opened up in town. It's high end. This guy's filthy, filthy fucking rich. Everything mashed. I forgot which name of the place is called. But the thing about it is that it was supposedly high end. It was a big deal, right? I'm sure it's still high end and all that stuff. They get their beans from different places. A lot of Taiwanese beans, Chinese beans, trying to like push that type of thing forward. And I think I had like 2 or 3 pour overs. They're expensive. They're like $12, which is outrageous, but whatever. They're high end, so small bag, even smaller than like a 8 ounce bag, probably like a 6 ounce bag was like $22, $23. So that's bizarre, right? I just get the coffee that you brewed for me, I guess. Guess that makes sense to just go that route. And I tasted the coffee. It was a light roast. I don't know if that started my hatred for light roast. And it was just okay. And it was just okay. And they look like see-through. You can see through the coffee and everything. And it was interesting. And then I got another coffee and different notes, blah, 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 but the same. So sometimes when you do have variety, is it really that much variety when you're actually roasting them pretty much at the same level? Yeah, you may have a different profile, but it's still a light roast and it's still very see-through and it doesn't have that much character and it tastes like acidic punch juice. So, yeah, it's not really that good. Whatever, that's just me. Notice I didn't say who it was purposely because I'm trying to be as tactful, but I can talk freely about who I'm talking about because at the end of the day, it's one of those things to where we have to be objective with what we're doing. You know, like for instance, I had an amazing cup just now, a month old Mexican coffee, medium roast coffee, 8 on a grind size on the EK43 on a Mr. Coffee machine. Tasted amazing. I'm telling you, amazing. Oh my God. Still Mexican coffee. It did have some character and pizzazz on it, but I guess that's what I'm getting at, really, is that it's going to be more so like a mixed bag of when you go out and taste these coffees from these places, these establishments, these things, the coffee program, the atmosphere that they've set up. That's what you're going there for. And again, yes, the most important thing in any actual pub crawl is low expectations, extremely low expectations. And I think that's going to be something that we have to understand and get to and really get to the point of where we are understanding the things that we're trying to do. I think I'm going to make that shirt. I'm going to have to make the coffee slut shirt. That's another question, Dave, another situation for another day. But yeah, so that's kind of like more so of the situation that you're dealing with cafes and kind of understanding them and knowing that you're probably more than likely going to taste the same type of coffee. I remember when I first started doing the coffee thing and understanding coffee a little bit more, is that I was like, what does this coffee taste like? Or no, it wasn't that. It was like, why is this coffee weak? And I said, could you make it stronger? I said, no, that's the way it came out. So right there, I knew it was a batch dripper at the time. But that's the thing about it. That's the other drawback with tasting coffee, drinking coffee, and all that too, is that a lot of these coffees are going to be, to an extent, weak. They're going to be probably at a 1 to 18 ratio, probably a TDS of like 1.2, 1.3. And, that's the drawback that you have to think about a lot, is that I like my coffees at 1.5 TDS. A little bit higher is a little bit too thick, too muddy, too like it's hard to decipher what I'm really tasting. I've been drinking 1 to 18 here or there. I just can't get into it. I really can't. I really can't do it. It's just, if you can, that's great. But let me know why you go about it that way. So do my 1 to 15. I'm a 1 to 15 boy. So that's a drawback when you do these coffee thingies, right? Usually it's a 1 to 3 ratio. No, 1.3 TDS. And it's not enough pizzazz to me. It's not enough flavor. It's not enough for me to really just enjoy as much as I think that I can with that coffee. Because I just don't do it. So take that in consideration when you drink these coffees. Is that like, okay, are you going to really taste something great or amazing? Yeah, you can. But more than likely you won't. And again, that's the most important thing in this whole talk about cafes and how to go about it and how to enjoy them, is that it's all about low expectations. And when you have low expectations, that sets you up in the right way because it's not about the coffee. It turns to be not about the coffee. It turns into something more like the experience, the people that you're with, people watching, probably even the task that you're trying to stay focused on. The coffee is just secondary. It's just there. It's just part of the game, right? And I think that's the best way to go about it. A lot of times we are all serious about the things that we like to do, what we don't like to do, the things that we care about, how strict and everything that we are with a lot of things. That's that's fine, but a lot of times it's okay to just kind of like take it easy, chill, be easy with choices that we're trying to do and understand. So, coffee pubs, do I recommend them? Of course I do. If you like doing it all the time. And again, I'm more so like a loner. I'll probably be going to a coffee shop in the next day or two to meet some friends, talk, catch up, and all that. But our expectations are going to be, well, at least my expectations are going to be extremely low now. I'm just going to go in there, just see what I like, see what happens, and enjoy the coffee for what it is. And then once that is done, we can move on. We can enjoy ourselves. And then we can, I guess, have other expectations about what we want to do, what we like to do, and what we care about. So I don't know if there's anything else to add to this one. Like I said, it was one of those things where I did have a topic. I kind of had a topic, and I'm glad that I'm able to just talk to you freely about the situation that we're in right now. And it was a fun trip. Like I said, it was a fun trip. It was a good trip. I truly, really enjoyed myself as I was trying to just be easy. And I think I'm too on it too much a lot of times. And it was a trip to where I was able to just be more so myself, live in the moment, have very low expectations, and just enjoy. And I think that's the biggest thing. It's like anything in life, right? Whatever we try to do, at least most of the time, I think it's okay to have very low expectations. And then when it does surprise you, it does wow you. We can talk about that stuff too. But the beauty of, again, about having low expectations is that the other stuff that isn't the coffee, the other stuff tends to come up. It's more on top. It's floating. It's the things that we are starting to like cherish a little bit more because we're not used to like really taking everything and taking everything in. Like you, like me, for instance, I used to be really big and just like, okay, this coffee sucks. Drink it. This place sucks. But then I start to lose the understanding, the attraction, the good, the bad, everything about the place. I didn't take in like the things that I was doing presently. And that's really the beauty, the complexness of the cafe, the good, the bad, mostly good. So that's what I got for you. We out right now. We're going to see what we're going to talk about next time. And we'll go from there. So talk to you later. Bye. I don't know why I do this. Bye.